shed a light on intriguing secret contacts in Tokyo involving a figure referred to as Lord Ichibara or Lord Ichibara. This happened a quarter of a century later, specifically in 1968, in Tokyo, when Lord Ichibara confided in Colonel Villacrucis about the optimal strategy for obtaining a complete set of the Golden Lily treasure maps for President Marcos. Ichibara proposed that locating Paul Giga would be key to this endeavor. Once Giga was found, Villacrucis could enlist his expertise to trace the whereabouts of Ben Balmores, who served as the wartime valet of Prince Takeda. This strategic approach hinted at a calculated and intricate plan to access valuable information and assets related to the Golden Lily operations. This mysterious individual's willingness to collude with President Marcos presents curious contrast to the known loyalties of Prince Takeda. While Kimsu would have likely kept Marcos at a distance from Ben Balmores, it appears that Lord Ichibara played a pivotal role in directing Marcos towards Ben. The implications of this clandestine collaboration raise questions about hidden agendas, shifting alliances, and the intricate web of connections in the pursuit of hidden treasures and covert operations during that era. When Giga knocked on Ben Balmores' door in Dulao in January 1969, Ben had no idea who he was. Giga claimed that they had spoken during the war at various Golden Lily sites, where he supposedly helped with inventories. Ben knew this was false since only Prince Takeda did inventories, and he had never seen Giga before. Giga insisted he had worn a Japanese uniform and couldn't be remembered among all the soldiers. Ben sensed Giga was devious and unreliable. Later, Ben discovered Giga was telling people he had been to Prince's Valley and he had the true maps. Giga offered to show people where to dig for a $1,000 monthly retainer. Giga stayed in Dulao for weeks, trying to win Ben over. Ben pretended to speak only Ilocano, but Giga switched to Japanese, claiming to be an emissary from President Marcos who wanted Ben's maps to leave Filipinos out of poverty. Ben doubted this due to Marcos' evil reputation. Finally, Giga threatened that if Ben didn't hand over the maps, soldiers would take his family to Bilibid prison to be tortured and killed. Ben still refused. Frightened for his family, Ben remembered his oath to Kimsu. He had sworn to guard the maps for 30 years and only 7 years remained. Despite no contact from the prince for 23 years, Ben had never revealed Kimsu's real name. To protect his family, Ben decided on a compromise. Ben reserved his 3 favorite sites from the 175 Red Series maps, Tunnel 8 and Tunnel 9, near Bambang and Montalban east of Manila. Out of the remaining 172 maps, he picked 40 he deemed minor or very challenging. If pressed or threatened, he could hand this bundle to Giga for Marcos. Days later, Colonel Villacrucis appeared at Ben's door in the dead of the night, demanding the maps for a presidential mission. Ben, bound by his oath to Kimsu, hesitated but eventually relented, given assurances of their safe return. Ben nervously accompanied Villacrucis to Manila, presenting the bundle of 40 maps. However, instead of meeting Marcos, they rendezvoused with high-ranking officials, engaging in an eerie display of power and intimidation. The maps intrigued them, but their understanding was limited. Ben, coerced and fearful, was whisked away to various locations, each encounter laden with threats and suspicion. A call to Tokyo linking Ben to his past and oath ended abruptly, leaving Ben shaken. Despite promises, the maps never reached Marcos. Villacrucis kept the bundle for study, sparing Ben but instilling a constant sense of fear. This chaotic episode marked the onset of Marcos's aggressive gold recoveries. Armed with the elusive Golden Lily maps, they underestimated the complexity of their endeavor, embarking on a tumultuous journey filled with secrecy and miscalculation. For Ben, who knew the locations of all the gold vaults, life in Dulao and Bambang followed the cyclical pattern of wet rice planting and harvest. One exception was his friendship with Roger Rojas, a Baguio locksmith who periodically hunted for bird loot in Bambang. Over the years, Ben and Rojas grew close, and one day, Ben gave Rojas a Golden Lily map revealing a network of tunnels behind the Baguio hospital. Rojas discovered the gold Buddha and a magnificent gold model of the Cathedral of Ras, crafted with exquisite detail and featuring a clock where the original stained glass window should be. Rojas gave the cathedral model to Ben as his share. The treasure, believed to have originated from Vietnam, was the work of a master goldsmith and would have fetched a high price at auction. However, when Ben saw the fate that befell Rojas after the gold Buddha discovery, he reburied the cathedral model in his yard. Later, General Fabian Ver learned from Paul Giga about Ben's possession of the gold cathedral and sent thugs to his house, threatening his family until he handed it over. 10 years later, the only thing Ben still possessed was a Japanese campaign medal, a gift from Kim Soo. Everything had been stolen, confiscated, or lost. Reflecting on his dealings with Marcos and his cronies, Ben lamented, "All they ever gave me was cigarettes." Despite the birth of children and the constant flow of treasure hunters, Ben remained poor. Ben wasn't the only eyewitness. There were POWs who survived, Taiwanese slave laborers who escaped, Filipinos, and even few Americans like John Ballinger who saw the Japanese hiding gold. A family that owned pasture land at the Indiana state was rumored to have made a recovery, becoming VIPs in Bambang. They built a 3-story building in town and started a cable TV business using 3 large satellite dishes. Despite being present at all 175 Imperial sites, Ben remained poor. Takeda returned to Manila in 1974 after the Tunnel 9 recovery was complete. After leaving Ben in June 1945, Takeda was welcomed by his cousin Hirohito and sent to Manchuria as the chief financial officer of the Imperial Army. Post-war, he ensured the Kwantung Army surrender compliance and then returned to Tokyo. When the peerage system ended, he became Mr. Takeda Tsuneyoshi, marking the end of Takeda no Miya princely house. To avoid Allied seizure, Takeda sold his estates, keeping only a ranch in Chiba Prefecture. He tried his hand at business with the Takeda Knitting Machines Company, which failed. Once the Americans left, he resumed his aristocratic lifestyle. Money was never an issue due to his contributions to Japan's wealth. Preferring the countryside, Takeda spent most of his time at his Chiba ranch raising thoroughbred horses. He became president of the Japan Olympic Committee in 1962 and an International Olympic Committee member from 1967 to 1981, a tradition continued by his son. A profile of Takeda in the Japan Times in April 1964 described him as relaxed, free from self-consciousness and tension, radiating warmth and friendliness. He adhered to principles of truth, fairness, and goodwill, making him a model of royalty. In 1974, Takeda flew to the Philippines after Japanese struggler Second Lieutenant Onoda Hiro was discovered on Lubang Island. Onoda, who had been hiding since 1945, engaged in guerrilla warfare for 30 years, believing the war was ongoing despite leaflets stating otherwise. When found by Japanese explorer Suzuki Norio in February 1974, Onoda still carried his rifle, 500 rounds of ammunition, and hand grenades. Onoda refused to surrender unless his commanding officer released him. Ben knew this officer was Prince Takeda, who had ordered Onoda to guard a treasure vault on Lubang Island during the war. When Onoda was found in 1974, Japanese officials including Major Taniguchi Yoshima and Prince Takeda arrived to persuade him to surrender. Recognizing Takeda on TV, Ben realized the prince had come to release Onoda from his duty. Onoda returned to Japan shortly after. Claiming difficulty adjusting to modern Japan, Onoda was sent to a Japanese-owned ranch in Brazil, where bodyguards ensured no one questioned him about the Lubang treasures until they were recovered. Sasakawa led the Lubang recovery disguised as developing the island into a luxury resort for a wealthy Japanese tourist. President Marcos made Sasakawa an honorary citizen for his donations and efforts to improve Japan-Philippines relations, though nothing was mentioned about sharing war loot with Marcos. Although Prince Takeda did not visit Ben after the war, he sent Colonel Kasabuchi in 1984. While Ben was temporarily living in Manila, Kasabuchi arrived in Bambang with a heavy suitcase. An old man resembling a sumo wrestler, he struggled with the heat and held tightly to the suitcase. He asked Rangho, a tricycle driver, to take him to San Fernando to find Ben Hamin, a former valet to a Japanese prince during the war. Despite spending the day searching and refusing help with the suitcase, Kasabuchi couldn't find Ben, who was well known in the nearby barrio of Dulao. Frustrated and unsuccessful, Kasabuchi returned to Manila with the suitcase, and Ben remained poor. Before we conclude, it's important to note that the topics discussed in this episode are based on historical events, research, and interpretations. While efforts have been made to present accurate information, historical narratives can be complex and subject to differing viewpoints. The views and opinions expressed here are those of the speakers and do not necessarily represent all perspectives. We encourage listeners to explore diverse sources, conduct their own research, and form their own informed opinions. Remember, history is often a tapestry woven from multiple threads, and understanding its complexities requires ongoing learning and critical thinking. The pursuit of Yamashita's treasure, hidden beneath the veneer of glittering gold, is a tale woven with threads of secrecy and deceit, a haunting echo of a darker history that remains largely untold. Beneath the surface of a grandeur lies a narrative of human suffering, moral erosion, and the relentless thirst of power and wealth. War, with its indiscriminate devastation and unquenchable greed, set the stage for a clandestine dance of ambition and treachery. The Imperial legacy, personified by Prince Chichibu and the Golden Lily operation, bore witness to the depths of human ambition, where loyalty shifted like sand and promises were veiled in the shadows. In the shadows of power, friendships like that of Ben Valmores became casualties of a relentless pursuit. His oath to Kimsu, a promise forged in the crucible of war, stood as a testament to the enduring human spirit amidst the chaos of greed and power struggles. The struggle for control over Yamashita's treasure unleashed a torrent of hidden agendas and murky alliances, where the line between right and wrong blurred in the quest for untold riches. Leaders, architects of deception, wove a web of intrigue and deceit, shielding the true cause of their ambitions from the public eye. The impact of war, not just in terms of lives lost but in the erosion of morality and integrity, resonates through the annals of history. The treasure hunt became a battleground where the human toll was swept aside in the pursuit of ephemeral wealth and power. This hidden history, obscured by the veils of time and secrecy, invites us to question what we know and what lies beneath the surface. The struggle for Yamashita's treasures serves as a stark reminder of the high price paid in the pursuit of power and wealth, a narrative that continues to echo through the corridors of history, urging us to uncover the truths hidden in the shadows. In the twilight of war and the dawn of ambition, our shared histories intertwine, revealing the intricate dance of power, wealth, and human nature. As we tread the paths of the past, we uncover not just treasures hidden in vaults, but the buried truths that shape our world. Let us not be content with the surface narratives, but delve deeper, questioning the shadows cast by the leaders and the untold stories of those caught in the crossfires of ambition. In the silence of forgotten voices and the whispers of hidden agendas lies the essence of our shared journey, a tapestry woven with threads of courage, betrayal, and resilience. As we navigate the complexities of history, let us remember the lessons of the past and carry them forward, illuminating the shadows, honoring the sacrifices, and seeking the truths that define our humanity. For in this quest lies the hope for a future where the echoes of war fade and the light of understanding guides us towards a more enlightened world. As we conclude this chapter of history, let us ponder what other untold stories lie beneath the surface. Join us in our quest for knowledge and truth as we explore the mysteries of our past on the Lillyword Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe for more intriguing episodes and share your thoughts with us. Together, let's uncover the hidden layers of our world and embrace the complexities that shape our journey through time. Thanks for listening.